Mr. Joshi? I know 3 Joshis. Which one do you want? I was told he's in the maintenance department. Have you met him before? No. Can you tell me where is the maintenance department? Go straight, take a left at that door, go straight down. There in the cabin, you'll find one guy, very fair. He's got brown eyes. He's maintenance Jodha. Fellow Toastmasters and prospective Toastmasters in the audience. This visitor walks up to the cabin, opens the door of Mr. Joseph's cabin and finds inside a short, dark, black fellow sitting in a chair. He gets in. Are you Mr. Joshi? The guy looks up with his brown eyes. What does the nameplate say? This guy has just been taken for a walk by our local prankster by the name Mohan Rao. Mohan Rao used to play these pranks on just about every visitor coming to the factory. And he was very efficient in his job. I used to like this attitude. And over my entire journey of life, I adapted this attitude. I thought, let's bring some color into life. Life is a lot of black and white and grays. What if there was some color? At my other job, I used to be one of those 3 pranksters who are also known as the telephone tormentors. Picture this. I used to sit in a glass cabin in front of my computer, and beyond the glass wall in front of me, I could see the entire hall. There are about 12 people sitting in the center, and we are surrounded by glass cabins through which I could see each and every person working. I was in an advantageous position. I could see all of them working while they would be looking down, because we were at a bit of a height for some reason. There were 2 people who used to be our target: the stores manager and the maintenance in charge. These are 2 people who would often get up, walk out to the department because of the nature of the job. As soon as they walk out, I would ring the extension. Well, they're very busy people. They are important people too. So they would walk back. As soon as they pick up, their phone will They used to wait for the call to come. As they decided that they have better things to do, it would ring again. They would go back. This time, by the time they would make it, the phone would get disconnected. 2 to 3 times, never more than that. Myself and a distribution head were very good at it. We used to do it to both of these people 2 to 3 times every day. Very soon they started complaining to the HR manager and the whole factory knew. One day, the EDB manager caught me doing it. Mr. Kannan came over and said, "What were you doing?" I was calling Ramesh, but I didn't see you pick it up. Who? Stores. He is my friend. Next time I am in the room, you will do only for maintenance. He became one of us. Now there were 3 of us. This racket continued till one day we picked up the wrong guy. The bulk trucks manager, he moved up for 1 week. Now this person was smart. He used to create products, He realized the futility of trying to find us out. He immediately got some maintenance person to attach a printer to a Papex, and at any moment he could print out the last 10 calls made in the factory. This destroyed our operation. And till this day we curse him for losing up our entire operation. But friends, the one episode that really warms my heart happened at my last job when I was the excise in charge. This person who had come to our factory was our excise officer. I was responsible to oversee all the exports going out of the factory. It so happened on that day we were deficient on our documentation by one document. We had been doing exports about 10 shipments every month, and I had a regular superintendent officer coming and certifying all the work we used to do. But this officer who had come that day, Kulkarni, was a rogue. He convinced the superintendent that he would be in deep trouble if he signed that document. In spite of my assurances that I would produce the document the very next day. It was a technical issue, but he made it a big problem. I tried to convince the officers over a dinner that I organized for them. I used to actually be responsible for pampering as the excise in charge. Though they were just doing their job, it was my job to keep them happy. I would send them an office car, pick them up, drop them because I used to often get late. On that particular day, I was furious that he did not let my export shipment go. Time to go home. The shipment was cancelled. I offered this person, Kulkarni, a ride back to the station on my two-wheeler Hero Honda scooter. I used to travel by a road that I knew very well. 11:30 in the night. He sits behind me. I make him very comfortable. We go without any episode right up to the main road where we all branch off. Now came the lonely stretch I was waiting for. It was a cold, dark night. A lot of cool breeze into our face. I accelerated to 60. It was pitch dark, no street lights. Kulkarni got worried. Can we go slow? I accelerated to 75. It was pitch dark, no lights, no sounds, no other traffic on the road. I put up my lights. Without headlights, we were going at 75. I could feel his hands strengthen. We came near a curve. I had to put on the lights. I took a bend. He suddenly saw a bend and he was terrified. I took that bend and again put off the lights. I closed my lights. I told him my brakes also don't work properly. I could hardly hear him breathe. I accelerated again, yet another curve. I put on my dimmer, the dipper on the right, so that we could see something. And as I made that curve, I could literally hear this guy shivering. Soon we came onto a main road and we dropped him. I dropped him off at the station. As I dropped him, I looked at him. He was white-faced. I told him, can I drop you further ahead? The next time I'm going to walk from the factory to the station. And then he walked out. But I rode home in complete silence and peace that night. Friends, it is these episodes that have added a lot of color to my life. I hope you have this color in your canvas too. So